Well, good morning to you, Kentuckiana. It is 6:01 here on your Wednesday morning. Thanks for starting your day with us here on WHAS11. I'm Jim Stratman.
And I'm Gabriel Gonzalez. Were you able to get outside yesterday? It was cloudy, but
I was actually. I was able to get out and do some yard work for the first time in a very long time.
don't miss that.
Yeah, much needed yard work though, Matt. So it had to be done.
Yeah,
It's good to do it today too, before the rain tomorrow.
Yes, exactly.
That's right. Yeah, get the yard work done. Treat today like a spring day, honestly, because it's going to feel like spring and it's going to look a bit like spring as we continue seeing these clouds rolling in that will be bringing in some rain chances throughout the later parts of our morning. As of right now, though, we are starting this day off with cloudy skies and temperatures into the 60s. 60 right now, Bowman Field, 60 downtown, 59 there for you folks near Iroquois Park. Folks in southern Indiana, 55 in Paoli, 60 Scottsburg, 55 in Madison. And you'll notice on satellite and radar a few of these very weak showers trying to move through this morning. As we continue going through the morning time, I'm still expecting a few of those to pop up here and there across Kentuckiana. Later into our afternoon and evening, that's whenever we will start to see more quiet conditions, but we are expecting to stay rather cloudy throughout the day. Thursday, we're paying close attention to as we're expecting the arrival of scattered showers and thunderstorms that will become more organized throughout Thursday evening and Thursday night. Passing through, likely bringing in some strong winds, and some small hail will be a possibility too. The rest of our morning, as I mentioned, includes some chances for some spotty rain showers, but most of that activity will be over with by the evening hours. We'll stay in the 60s, and then we're dropping back into the 50s overnight and starting our Thursday morning off with another round of cloudy conditions. Stay up to date with us, though, as we continue tracking out Thursday. That is a weather impact alert with the arrival of these strong storms. Have ways of receiving weather alerts. That's a look at your weather details for now. More coming up soon. Here's an update on traffic this morning. Some live looks for you to check out on I-65 and on the Waterson, I-64. Everything's moving along fine this morning. If we have any holdups, we'll have those details. Jim, Gabe?
Matt, thank you very much. We move now to our top story this morning. A major daycare center here in Louisville is shutting its doors this summer.
The University of Louisville and Family Scholar House are parting ways, meaning the Early Learning Center on campus could shut its doors in the next few months. Now, for the past 18 years, U of L and Family Scholar House have worked together to run the daycare center that serves 132 kids. It's a hit to U of L staff and faculty, as 94 of those kids are children of university employees. The CEO of Family Scholar House said the contract between the university and nonprofit ends this September. Some parents now worry the center could close sooner than June 30th.
With the announcement of the closure, there's the threat that staff members could just go ahead and start looking for new jobs. They're going to leave sooner, and we're going to be out of daycare even earlier. So this is really going to affect the operational functions of the university.
Family Scholar House says this change has been in the works since November. They are working on finding a new partner to continue serving their kids at the current ELC location. Within the next month, they are expecting to announce a new partner.
Well, the news comes as Republican Senator Danny Carroll of Paducah has filed a bill to reward child care providers and low-income parents whose children are ready when they start kindergarten. Senate Bill 191 would have the University of Kentucky operate a 3-year pilot program to establish a standard for kindergarten readiness. The reward, a one-time $2,000 incentive. The money would go to the person who cared for the child during the 2 years before they started kindergarten. Carroll says that early childhood education is not seeing nearly as much investment.
We know that if kids aren't reading by grade 3, we know all the bad data that follows that as far as predictors on adulthood and success in life. And the one area that we do not invest in significantly, I think, is the most important area, and that's early childhood education.
The pilot program would go on from January 1st, 2027 through late July of 2029. The bill passed the Senate Families and Children Committee and now heads to the full Senate for a vote.
The Harvest Homecoming murder trial enters day 10 today. On Tuesday, Sergeant Philip D'Angelo testified what he saw the night 18-year-old Bryce Gerlach was killed. D'Angelo testified 8 shell casings were recovered, including 2 .40 caliber casings at the top of a staircase overlooking a parking lot. He says an elevated spot is the most likely location of that deadly shot. Gerlach was shot in the back, consistent with a steep downward angle. The defense argues more shots were fired and evidence may be missing. Right now, Isaiah Page is accused of killing Gerlach. So far, 2 witnesses have said Page shot a gun in the air, not in the direction of Gerlach.
A controversial sentence for a Kentucky man convicted of rape is now being challenged by the state. The Kentucky Attorney General Russell Coleman is appealing Christopher Thompson's 30-year sentence. Earlier this month, Judge Tracy Davis out of Louisville split the jury's 65-year sentence, essentially in half. Thompson was convicted of robbery, kidnapping, and sex crimes. Now, Judge Davis said that Thompson had never had access to things like mental health or anger management treatment. Attorney General Russell Coleman announced the appeal yesterday, and he argues that the judge's sentence is an unlawful abuse of judicial discretion. He says this appeal would give the family the justice that they deserve.
On Tuesday, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg filled in questions about how a homeless woman died after coming into contact with a Metro garbage truck last week. He said garbage crews were routinely cleaning up an alley off 26th and Muhammad Ali Boulevard. Police said 35-year-old Tyra Adams came into contact with equipment on the work truck, and she later died at the hospital. Adams' family attorneys, Stephanie Rivas, told WHAS Adams was unhoused and known to stay in the alley. Mayor Greenberg defended the actions of the crew and called Adams' death a tragic accident.
The investigation is still ongoing, but at this time we have no evidence that there was any wrongdoing associated with this tragic loss of life in our city.
Metro Public Works says employees involved are on administrative leave while that investigation continues.
Louisville's Mardi Gras celebrations rounded out last night with the 8th annual Beignet Bash down at the Old Louisville Brewery. The event is hosted by Mattingly Edge, a nonprofit dedicated to empowering people with disabilities and fostering more inclusive communities. We asked the executive director of the nonprofit about the community itself that came together last night to support their mission.
You know, Steve and Michael Carr and David, his husband David, who are part owners of Old Louisville Brewery, talk about the community that Old Louisville Brewery brings, and that is exactly what's happening in there tonight.
There were plenty of ways to celebrate down at Old Louisville. There were fresh baked beignets, king cakes as well, and all those proceeds went directly to Mattingly Edge. And now that Fat Tuesday has come and gone, the fasting begins. For Catholics, today marks Ash Wednesday, the beginning of the 40-day Lenten season leading up to Easter. And during that season, Catholics abstain from meat on days like today and on Fridays through Lent, which means that parishes around Kentuckiana are frying up some fish. 20 parishes in the Louisville area in Kentucky and in southern Indiana are going to be offering fish fries during the Lenten season, and we've got a full list of all of those locations on our website, WHAS11.com.
All right, Matt, coming over to you. Cloudy day today.
Exactly. Cloudy skies continuing throughout our morning and afternoon. A few rain showers here and there through the morning time, but then we do have temperatures reaching very close to 60. We're cooling back down on Friday. That's our coldest day of the week with a high of 53. But stay on alert for Thursday evening. We're expecting some strong storms to move into Kentucky, and those details coming up in a few short minutes.